Black YouTubers have filed a lawsuit against Google claiming racial discrimination. And I gotta admit, when I first saw the headline, I thought to myself, oh, that's silly. YouTube's algorithm doesn't work that way. It's not going, if anything, it's going to benefit them. YouTube's dumped in a ton of money to prop up certain creators. They're all about social justice. Their rules are very, very in favor of social justice. So how could it be that they discriminate? And then I actually thought about it. I thought about the discrimination against LGBT creators, and I realized YouTube does. And this lawsuit's actually could be fairly important. It can go two different ways, though. It could actually make YouTube more discriminatory, which I kind of doubt. But this could actually be very, very good for all of us. For real. I won't bear this one. I'll just tell you straight up. Basically, what's happening is that YouTube will give preferential treatment to certain creators. But then if you want to talk about sensitive issues, they'll demonetize, derank, and they'll shut you down. The same was true for LGBTQ creators. So notably, you may know Ariel Scarcella. I interviewed her on the Timcast IRL podcast. She got removed from the partner program. Why? She talks about LGBTQ issues. Well, they say it's because of, well, I don't know, controversial or hateful. I don't know exactly what they say. But there are many creators who have noticed. Cobra Kai, a show on YouTube, a YouTube original, makes, transphobic, anti-LGBTQ statements. They're jokes, so I think they're fine. But that's the character in the show. He makes these passive jokes, and it's offensive. If I made those same jokes, if any of these people did, they would be banned. So I actually think there's a legitimate argument for discrimination against creators for being black. I really do think so. I think about it this way. If a black YouTuber made content and said a bunch of things about the black community and about their culture, things they believe, YouTube would very likely deem that to be problematic content. They would derank it, demonetize it, and then YouTube would prop up their own version of that content when they feel like it, thus showing there are certain people who are above this, and specifically based on the content they produce, you can see there's a bias. Now, I think it really comes down to an elitism bias. Like the reason why, certain news creators are allowed to say things I'm not, it's nothing to do with my race, but they have an argument, in my opinion, because they'll say, why is it that these high-profile white creators can talk about these issues and get propped up, and they have been, yet if we do it, we get knocked down? I don't think it's necessarily because they're black, because I think YouTube's all about social justice, but I think they can present their argument. We'll see how it plays out. Let's read the story. From CNET, they say a group of black creators accuses YouTube and parent company Google of racist practices that pervade the YouTube platform. They say a group of black YouTubers is suing YouTube and Google, alleging the companies discriminate against their videos based on race. The suit claims that YouTube uses its automated tools to restrict, censor, and denigrate black creators, hurting their subscribers and revenue, while videos with racist hate speech are hosted and allowed to make money on the site even after being flagged for violating YouTube's rules. Their complaint comes in the middle of a national reckoning with racism in the U.S., triggered by the killing of George Floyd, the 46-year-old black man who died. We know the story. YouTube is among the tech giants making large donations to social justice initiatives alongside public statements of support for the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, I don't think they'll win. I think YouTube can easily point to the reasons why certain things happen. And I do think there's a real risk here for expanding hate speech provisions, because that's potentially what they're trying to argue. If YouTube goes the wrong way with this, they can say, then don't worry, we will restrict and censor everyone, not just you. Problem solved, right? That's what we got to pay attention to. They say plaintiffs in the latest complaint include YouTubers associated with Lisa Cabrera with more than 20 million views. They say the channel Lisa's Views, the channel True Royal Family, and True Royal, which combined have 3.4 million views. Now, these are very, very small channels. I'm not trying to be mean or disrespectful, but they are very, very small. So for reference, I think this channel of mine has something like, I don't know, 600,000 or 700,000. Six or 700 million. I think all in all, my channels combined have like 900 or so million. And I am not one of the bigger channels. In terms of news content, I do get a lot of views. But I don't even have my main channel, I think, is like 819,000 subs, which is pretty big. But I'm not even in a million. Some of the bigger channels have 5, 10, 20, even 100 million. So there are way bigger channels than mine. But these are very, very small. For a better example would be, we launched the Timcast IRL podcast in January. And I think it has something like 40 to 50 million views, maybe. maybe 35, I don't know, but way more than 20, and we just started it. So these are really, really small channels. YouTube said Thursday that it's reviewing the complaint. It added that it allows anyone to post videos that abide by the site's policies and guidelines, which it says it enforces in a neutral and consistent way. That's a lie. YouTube wants the service to include a variety of voices and perspective. I think that's true, and I think they're trying to play this equity game. Well, let's read on. Asked about the lawsuit later, during a virtual event with the Washington Post, YouTube CEO said the company is going to look at the complaint and try to understand what concerns are there. She listed off a few successful black creators, including Jackie Aina, a beauty creator who focuses on issues for people of color, Marquez Brownlee, a gadget YouTuber, and Marquez Brownlee. Brownlee posted a video reflecting on the color of my skin, where he shares his own experiences on race. The lawsuit, filed Tuesday in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California, accuses YouTube of overt, intentional, and systematic racial discrimination, saying the companies rigged the game by restricting and blocking these black YouTubers based on their racial identity, but not subjecting YouTube's own produced videos to the same scrutiny. And there it is. Boom. That's the point. YouTube has produced a ton of content that gets away with breaking their own rules, and then they hold everyone to different standards. Now, I think the reason they might lose this one is that the real issue is elitism. YouTube is holding back everyone, even me, many creators. It's not just about people based on race. LGBT creators have been targeted, black creators, Latinos, Asians, etc. So the real issue is YouTube's double standards. They say the YouTubers also complain of YouTube profiting off of videos with hate speech, which remain up with advertising on the site. Now, there's the big problem, going after, trying to create another adpocalypse. The suit also accuses YouTube of bugging the creators' videos with metadata and other signals that let its automated systems filter words based on race, identity, or the viewpoint of the creator. The channel's subscribers and even its viewers, videos by the YouTubers filing the suit, have been restricted, removed, limited in how much advertising revenue they earn, or demonetized completely. This is a good thing. Okay, this is good news. Let me explain this to you. If they prove that YouTube's algorithm so something was uncovered by Nerd City, it's another YouTuber, where YouTube was putting codes in YouTube videos that related to the demonetization. If they can show that there's a tendency of those codes to appear in their videos based on their race or racial identity or the content they're making, then it shows that YouTube does have a broken and racist system. It may not be intentionally racist. It may be accidentally. That's all that matters. YouTube will then have to uniformly enforce policy. This could be a good thing. YouTube might then not be able to determine which race-based words are bannable. Think about what that means for people who have been banned in the past. Moving forward, YouTube won't be able to implement race-specific restrictions. Now, YouTube may be doing all of this with good intentions. These good-willed individuals say, most of these videos that come out that have these words are bad. But what if there are people who make videos about those words opposing those words? For instance, I did a series of videos on blackface, I think like 4 or 5, maybe a week ago. They were all flagged as hate speech by YouTube's system. I was talking about why blackface was bad. I was talking about Instagram influencers who were doing it and why it was bad. But YouTube's algorithm can't tell the difference between what is good or bad. Simply, they don't like these words. Now, think about what happens if a bunch of people make content and YouTube says it's fine, and then some black creators address this and they have to use certain words to address how they feel. YouTube then slaps labels on their content. Their content gets restricted. Same for LGBTQ creators. And YouTube then is, through the algorithm, shutting down people who are oppressed peoples, right? In the end, the result may be, if YouTube settles or loses this, it doesn't matter if there's precedent or not. YouTube might then have to actually uniformly enforce rules because the algorithm can't. Now, they're based in California. This may fall under the Civil Rights Act, that they're not providing equal public accommodation. You can't discriminate in public accommodation based on certain characteristics, of which one is race. If you can argue that because of the words they use, it relates to their race, they might actually win this. It could ultimately be kind of a good thing. I don't think the intention here is necessarily to get more censorship. It might, though, because YouTube could go the other way and say, you know what, fine, then we're banning every single word no matter what. We don't want to be racist, therefore all of this word are gone, period. They say, YouTube said Thursday that its automated systems are not designed to identify the race, ethnicity, or orientation of its creators or viewers. However, you can accidentally do it. And there's a big problem. I'll put it this way. Let's say you create a business and you have no handicap entrance. Well, I believe there are laws in certain jurisdictions that say you must have a handicapped entrance. Are you discriminating directly? No. It's just that handicapped people can't get up the stairs. So some states, particularly California, I believe, make it so that you have to accommodate them. You have to accommodate people so they can use your business. Let's say YouTube accidentally is targeting minority creators. Well, the law says you can't do that, whether it's on purpose or otherwise. So this may result in something positive in the long run. I don't know for sure. They say during Thursday's interview with the Post, Wojcicki, whatever her name is, reflected on the past few months, including the chaos of the pandemic and the protests all over the world. She said she understands people will look back on this period, whatever. They say Tuesday's suit by the black YouTuber cites proceedings in the LGBTQ YouTuber's case as support for its argument, adding the two cases could be coordinated. So we'll see how this plays out. I highlight it and bring it up simply because we're all on YouTube and I think it's important. So I got one more segment in a few minutes. Stick around and I will see you all shortly.